Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko. That's actually one of my favorite movies. That's a scene from the movie where he had like this crazy ass dream, like in the beginning of the movie, and he ended up at a golf course the following night. I love that movie, Donnie Darko. I think it was amazing on so many levels. The reason that I bring it up is because I'm actually on a golf course right now. You probably can't tell because it's dark as shit out here, but I'm like right over by like a little dugout. These bugs is really fucking me up right now. I had ended up out here because I had planned to do a video. I should probably start back further than that. I had put together this schedule. I've got this comprehensive schedule that I made. It's gonna end up telling you how I ended up at this golf course. I had checked my watch, but I never actually set the time on my watch. So I was going to tell you what time it is, but I really don't know. But I mean, it's dark enough. It's late enough to be dark out here. That's for sure. All right, so I put together this schedule. I put together this schedule because in my head it's like a whole bunch of running strong stallions, and I need to do a better job of taming them and just getting them to come out the gate one at a time. So I put together this comprehensive schedule. It started at 5 in the morning to 12 o'clock at night. Actually 12 in the morning technically. So what I've done is I've actually provided like a space for like everything that I want to do creatively. And this satisfies the vlogging or the documentary portion of that schedule. But I'm a little behind schedule because I was actually supposed to do this at 4 o'clock. But see, what had happened was I had some other shit that kind of came up that took precedence, so I had to take care of that. But nonetheless, I still wanted to do what I was supposed to. But inherently, there's a conflict with that because 4 o'clock is like, it's a decent daylight time. And now it's not. But I decided that I was just going to do this shit anyway because I had it on my list. And I was like, well, I almost kind of specialize in not doing the stuff that I'm supposed to do because I use my creativeness to come up with like a whole lot of excuses. That's one of the things I realized is that probably one of my best talents is coming up with reasons why I don't have to do something. So I told myself that I was really going to stop doing that because I've got this comprehensive schedule that I put together now where I'm going to be a lot more structured in my endeavors. So I said just because I had other shit that came up don't mean that I still can't do what I was supposed to do. So rain, sleet, snow, or darkness, I was going to do this motherfucking video. So what my plan was to actually come to a park. I'm at that park, but the thing is that if you ever been to a park when it gets dark, it's not like no street lights in the park. So it's pitch black in there. I ain't going in there. Nah. But there is a golf course that's like adjacent to the park. So I'm just on like, I think this is hole 9. Actually, I know it's hole 9 because I golf here. I golf. I'm pretty dope too. I got the form right and everything. I don't know if you can really see it, but I'm nice with it. So this is hole 9. It's a par 4. So what my intention was today for the video is I plan on doing a whole lot of these, and the reason that I'm going to do them is because I think it makes for a good track record, a good historical account of what the process is like, because you might not know it, but I do. I'm going to be a billionaire one day. Not millionaire, because there's too many millionaires, so it ain't but a few billionaires, so I'm going to do that. And I just want to record it as it happens. One of the things that I did yesterday that I think is monumental is I located a whole lot of individuals that I look up to that have done the things that I aspire to do, and I wanted to hear the stuff that they had to say as far as accomplishing it, because it's like, if it's one thing that I know for certain is that I got what it takes, like creatively, and just as what it takes, like as a I guess as a entity of entertaining value. I would certainly say that I encompass that. But I would say I have those things because I work so hard at it, and I've sacrificed a whole lot of stuff, and I will ultimately just reside on the fact that I worked for it, and in ways that can't always be seen, but I've done like a whole lot in order to get to the place that I'm at. I've sacrificed a whole lot to get to the place that I'm at, and I'm at that point now where I really want to take the motions and really start putting them in the direction that's going to get me to the places that I want to be, because now I know that I got the product, I know that I got like the ingenuity, and I know that I got the concepts that are striking enough to compel, and I just want to focus on getting those things out now. One of those things has to do with directing, and also it has to do with illustrating. So that's why I'm here. And as I was sitting on the golf course, it just reminded me of I hadn't planned it. It just reminded me of my favorite movie, like Donnie Darko, and I thought that was such a dope scene. It's the same where the sun is like beaming, like over his head, and it's ironic because one of the characters actually comes and shadows in over the sun, in like a very Halo-like reference, and that's what this bright ass light reminds me of right now. The only reason that you can actually see me is because there's this light on this camera that's actually bright as hell. That makes it actually really difficult. That makes it actually really difficult for me to actually look at the camera because it's so bright. It's like the only source of light. I'm gonna be out here doing like this little historical. I'm gonna be out here doing this like little documentary type thing until somebody tells me that I gotta go, which is probably gonna be very soon.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
How you doing, Baba?
I'm doing very good, thank you. How about yourself?
Okay.
Alright.
So, what happened? You enjoy yourself or what?
Yeah. I'm actually a film student. I'm working on a project for my class. We have to go somewhere out to a landscape that's a little different, and do like a little documentary type thing. I'm not gonna be too much long. I hope it's not a problem.
But do you have any car inside the car?
No, I don't.
You don't have no car?
No, I actually walked here.
If you don't have no car, no problem.
Okay, cool.
Because if you have a car, they have to close the gate. That's the other problem.
Oh, I see.
All right.
Okay.
Take
Thank
it
you.
easy, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Watch yourself, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. Most of that was the truth. Like, I am a film student. I'm a student of the game. I'm a student of life. I'm a student of the arts. And that's actually what I was working on yesterday. Is I was working on looking at the things that individuals went through in order to get where they was at. One of the people that I was looking into was Tyler Perry. I think Tyler Perry is awesome. I really think he is, man. One of the things that I like so much about Tyler is that, like, he went from a homeless man to a millionaire, but Man, that's just the headline, yo. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that, yo. It's like, man, he went through 6 years of being told no. 6 years of rejection. 6. And man, he was putting together this show and he knew that it was worth it. Like, he knew that it was good. He knew that it was entertaining. He knew that it had value. He knew that it spoke to his soul, you know, and he knew that he had something. And like, one of the things that he did is like he pulled together like all his funding and like all his financing, like to put together this show. It was $12,000 that he needed, and he pulled all of that together just to rent out this space, man. And long story short, he did his first big show, and only 30 people showed up, and like he knew all of those people. And it's like, wow, that's just the rejection right there. It's just not the outcome that you was looking for. And it's like, man, I think any entrepreneur or any visionary that ever had a dream know what it's like when you kick that shit off and it don't come out like the way that you dreamed it. It don't come out like the way that you planned it. And I just like the fact that even though he took that on the chin, he kept going. And like that, I just find that perseverance and spirit to be like so resilient, to be like so striking, to be like so definitive of like what life is about. You know, it's about going after that thing that you want, even in the face of like lack of support and lack of belief. It's like you still do it because that's just what's in your spirit, and you're not going to stop because it's the only thing that really makes you feel alive, you know. And I just like seeing that in other individuals. It's like a little fire, you know, that regardless of how much wind blow on it or how much water goes on it, the fire's still sparking and it's still flaming. And it's like Tyler Perry's fire was like popping for like 6 years, from like 92 to like 98. You know, he was doing shows and wasn't nobody showing up, and like he still got it cracking, you know, even though nobody was even in the stands, you know, still just pouring his heart out. And it's like, man, fuck, I can parallel to that, because if any of y'all fuck with me like on Twitter, it's like, you know, the shit I used to get into, I still do it, you know what I'm saying? I still talk my talk, and I still pour out like so much of me and what I represent and so much of who I am into it. Man, I was doing that shit before the retweets, man. I was doing that shit before the mentions, yo. But it's bigger than that, though. You know, I've been on this music thing like so heavy for so long. Maybe 3 years, 4 years. It's felt like longer than that, though. Like when you do something every day. Right now, I got these mosquitoes trying to take me out, yo. But you can't take out a heart of a lion. Even though these motherfuckers damn sure gonna try. It's felt like longer than that, though, man. It's been every day the same thing, yo. And it's like, I just don't even know if you can even begin to explain what it's like to wake up every single day and want the exact same thing that you wanted the day before, but you just wanted a little bit more. I mean, it's crazy, but it's like just been like the most consistent source of like happiness and depression in my life at the exact same time. It's like, I love it. I mean, it's probably the most sick, distorted, disturbed relationship that I just can't even pull myself away from. It's like I love it so much, but it hurt me at the exact same time, because it's like I like doing it, but at the same time, I'm not where I want to be at with it. And I just find a real comfort in knowing that it ain't never going to change the way that I feel, though. It's like I know what it is that I want to do in this world, and I want to be a grand artist is what I want to be. It don't even got, it's not even so much like I want to be a rapper, or I want to be a singer, or I want to be a writer, or I want to be a director, or I want to, you know, be a architect. You know, it's not even about those things. I just want to express myself through multitudes of avenues, and I want to change the world. I want to affect people. I want to influence people. I want to inspire people. That's what I want to do with my life, and that's the only thing that's important to me. I'm just at that stage in my life now. When I was younger, other things was important to me, and I guess that's one thing I can always say about myself, is that consistently I've always done I've always done what I believe to be important to me at that moment in time. It's always varied. When I was younger and I was in school, like school was important to me. Like getting good grades and doing my thing as far as the academics is concerned. Like that's the only thing I gave a shit about. That's it. I wasn't even into drugs, man. Truth be told, I keep it all the way 100. Y'all wasn't even into pussy coming up. I was scared of drugs and I was scared of pussy. Simply because I recognized the niggas that was dabbling in that weren't really getting it out here. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that was smoked up all the motherfucking time, it's like their grades weren't looking nothing like mine. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that was dabbling in the pussy all the time, them motherfuckers had their issues. You know what I'm saying? From like having kids early to having like, they was broke, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, girls is expensive or whatever, so it's like they was real heavy into it. And it's like, man, coming up, I just shied away from like anything that could deter me from what my goal was, you know. And my goal was like to do good in school because I recognized that it was really going to get me where I wanted to be at. So it's like, yeah, I still did my thizzle, you know what I'm saying? I definitely mingled and shit with the females. That's actually how my ass ended up in an all-boys school, man. Shout out to Matthew. Gentleman and a scholar, please believe it. 4 years in the making on that one. But I always recognized what was important and what I needed to do in order to get where I wanted to be. So I was really into school at one point. That's what was important to me. You know, I was into my academics and I was into higher learning and stuff. And bam, got to college and other things became important to me when I was in college, you know, and I focused in on that. And in college, I was about doing my academics, but making my bread, and I had my girl. And that was the only thing that was important to me was making money so that I can get the cars that I wanted, so I could get the bike that I wanted, and so that I could get the degree that I needed in order to be happy. And it's like, that's what I define happiness as. And it's like, my life really consists of just varying goals. Anywhere from cars to bikes to girls to money. That's was my goals, you know what I'm saying? That's what I define happiness as, you know, the pursuit of those things. But the way that life works is such that a goal is everything until you get it. You know, no offense to like y'all females out here, but like once a dude gets you, it kind of fizzle down. Once you get a car that you wanted for a long time and you whip that shit around the block a few times, it kind of fizzle down. Once you get a pair of shoes and them joints start creasing, it kind of fizzle down. You could smoke too much weed and it'll fizzle down. You could fuck too much and it's gonna fizzle down. The truth of the matter is that everything that we desire at some point get old. And the only thing that we can do is like, don't even hold on to it. It's like, you just gotta move on, baby. You gotta move on to the next thing. You gotta go on to the next one. And like, that's what my life has been like so far. It's like, I just been moving on to the next one with a whole lot of shit. I mean, you look at my creative portfolio, and some of the things that I got in there is like my cars. And it's like, my cars just really consist of me moving on to the next one. From a 5.0 Mustang to a candy painted Tiburon to a supercharged 350Z to a R6 Yamaha badass motherfucking bike to what I'm leaving out. Oh, probably be my most recent whip. Oh, a red leather convertible drop top Mercedes Benz with 18s in the front and 22s in the back. Man, that bitch shit like a high heel. And even that's old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what happened is like everything is like dope and fresh for that moment until you get it. And once you get it, man, you had your fun with it and you gotta move on. So it's like, yo, it's so much shit that I used to care about that I don't even care about no more because I just did that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm ready to move on to new things. I feel like motherfuckers aspire for shit, you know what I'm saying, because they ain't had it yet. You know what I'm saying? Once you get it, and you recognize that the world ain't stopped spinning because you got that, and now you riding off into the sunset because you got that. You recognize that shit wasn't really all that, or maybe that it wasn't all that, but that you just kind of accomplished that. You kind of checked that off the checklist. And like right now, I'm at a stage in my life where I done checked off like a whole lot of shit off the checklist that was important to me that I wanted to do. certain shit that I ain't done yet that maybe some people would argue that was important. But it's simply because I don't desire to do those things, you know. The only thing that I desire right now that's important to me right now is just this music, this fashion, these scripts, these movies, this movement, these ideals, this vision. That's the only thing that I give a fuck about right now. I do not give a fuck about nothing else. I really don't. And I would probably say I don't give a fuck to a flaw. And I'm okay with that. I ain't never made no claims to be perfect. It was always just a cool model to run on. I know I'm far from perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably the most unstable, delusional, crazy motherfucker out here. And I'm okay with that. I wouldn't rather have it any other way. If I had to live life once, I would want to do that shit wild and crazy. And like, that's what I'm on right now. That's why a nigga sitting in the motherfucking golf course. It's getting dark out here now. But it's cool because the only thing really out here to be scared of is me. So, and these fucking mosquitoes. So that's what I'm on these days. I'm on these passionate pursuits of excellence. I got a whole lot of stuff that I plan to do, and I'm most definitely going to do it. Even if the conditions ain't favorable, I'm still going to make it happen. Like right now, I had started to turn around. And say, you know what, dummy? You done lost the daylight. How the fuck you gonna record something and you ain't got daylight? Man, I told myself, nigga, that camera got a light. I'm gonna sit under the fucking light and do this shit. And like, that's the mentality right now. The mentality is stick to the motherfucking plan. There is no plan B. There's only plan A. Plan B just distract from plan A. So like, all I'm sticking to is plan A. And right now my plan A consists of like this comprehensive outline of things that I'm going to do on a daily basis. And it varies from the music time, fashion time, to my writing the book time, to writing my sitcom time, to writing my cartoon time, to working on the fashion line time, to recording the music time, to putting up the theatrical event schematic times. I fit all of that in a day. Get up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I got my exercise time. Then after that, I got my breakfast time, and I got my shower time, and I got all my times laid out. So from like 5 to 12, you really talking about like a full motherfucking day non-stop. I always got something I'm supposed to be doing at every hour of the day. And that's what life is about, man. It's about productivity, baby. And it's like, that's what I'm on right now. And it took me a while to really get ready to really to really be fine-tuned like the way that I want to be. I would just say it's like working out in a gym before you go to a fight, you know what I'm saying? I would say it's like when I was studying to be an accountant. Like, I did that for 4 years before I actually got nice enough to get out here in corporate America and do my little thizzle. You know what I'm saying? And I would say I definitely studied being an artist for like 3 to 4 years, like roughly, before I really got to the point that I really felt like I represented all of the things that I knew that I could be. Or I represented all the things that I should say I believe in. And now I'm at that point. And now it's like, ain't nothing but the executionary phase is left. So like, I've been studying up on how people pulled it off. I've been studying up on like what the movements was like. And I got some good things to go off of, man. I would definitely consider myself a visionary and a pioneer, but above all, I will always consider myself a student. A student that just realized that this video probably running too fucking long, man. I'm gonna pick this shit up later.